Imagine you are launching a game first time. What are your expectations that you will see on the first sight? If you think it is the menu, then you are correct. And if your menu looks like this is the first red flag that you should avoid the game. This means that the developer doesn't pay much attention to one thing that appeals on the first sight when player will start the game. So today we will see how we can fix this. As you can see, this menu looks really horrible. There is no interesting point here, nothing shows up, no animations, the very basic Godot buttons, etc. I have created two scenes. One will be bad menu and the second will be good menu, which we will see in a while. So what we have in a bad menu? We have a background with the color of gray and we have a VBox container. In this container you can assume that all the buttons and titles are holding. So we have just the title of the game and several buttons. You can see no button has any style here or anything, as the Godot will show the numbers if there is some modifications to the defaults. What the code does, you will ask? It does the pretty basics. On ready function we are just connecting all the buttons to their functions. And here we are just connecting each button to the correct scene. I have only the game scene, I don't have the continue or options scene, as this video is just a brief showcase of bad and good. So I have only the new game scene, and on exit button we are just exiting. So I think at this point you are curious what will in this case be the good menu. Right from the start you can see several animations, the modulation going on. We can see the button animations that on hover are pretty different and more interesting than the one that we saw. So what hides under this scene? Let's check out the structure. Color background, which in this case we have picked a better color. Of course, for each individual the color can be different due to their tastes. After that we have a center container. This is something that the bad menu missed. The center container will help you to have exactly a centered menu on your game. Under the center container we have already the VBox container, which contains all the other elements. You can see that we have several other nodes in here. Of course we have the subtitle, the title. We have here a divider, which is just a color rect. It is not visible because the albedo is at 51. It has custom minimum of 1 pixel on y-axis. It is just enough to see this little line. This is one of the ways to create the line. Of course you can also use the line 2D node or other nodes. I chose the color rectangle. After that we have another node that is just a space with a custom minimum of 24 pixels on y-axis. This is also for spacing. After that we have two buttons, new game and continue, buttons that represent the game itself, something that interacts with the game. We want it to be separated from other menu buttons. After that we have options and quit, and at the very bottom we have version, which is also you can add or not. We have signaled the new game connected to the button, and let's look at the code. First of all, here we have the constants of our colors that we use. This also can be done or not. This is one approach that you can use. We have an array of buttons, and on ready function we are adding all the buttons to the array. Of course this can be also done before the ready function. We can all declare the buttons here in the array, but this is also another approach that you can take. On ready function we are just going on for the button, and for each button in the array we are connecting the mouse entered, mouse exited and pressed functions. All of these will use tweens so that we can play around with the modulation, with the hover animations, etc. We are also connecting the exit button so that on click we'll just quit the game. On ready function we are also modulating the scene itself. so that the menu will fade in and not appear right after the game is launched. So we are setting the modulate A to 0 and creating a tween, and with the use of tween of ease out, we are making the modulate back to 1, which is 100% of opacity. After that, we have, as I mentioned, the functions for on hover, button exit and pressed, all of which are just play around with different properties. For example, for hover and exit, we are using the position property, position X, and for the press, we are playing around with the scale. So when we press a button, we just scale it up and then scale it down and then up. Also, on the new game press, we also want the animation, the tween to work, after which only we want to switch to the scene. Because in the opposite way, we will just not see the animation play and we will right along switch to the scene. So here we are creating the tween and then awaiting for the tween to be finished, and after that we are changing the file to scene. So this is it. All in all, very easy, very useful tips, tools that you can use to make your game to appeal from the first seconds. And by the way, one of the coolest menus that I recently discovered for myself is the menu from the Game Bonanza, a game which I will upload next week in my channel so that you can see a little of the gameplay there. So subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment and wait for the new and fun coming. Thanks and God bless you all.